Hello everyone and welcome to my review of the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid, and this is the first time the Canadian market has been able to have the Honda CR-V Hybrid. The previous generation hybrid wasn't available in our market, and that's because CR-Vs sold in Canada are built in Canada, and as far as I know, the factory at the time just didn't have the capability to churn out those models. So that has me a little more excited to test out this product, and living with it for the past week, I can very happily say Honda has done a brilliant job putting this product together. I really liked the previous generation CR-V, even though it had a little bit of rattly engine, not the nicest steering, and might have not been the best looking in its class. Have they solved all of those problems? We'll get to those point by point eventually in this video, but let's start off with the interior because there's not a whole lot to say here. If you've seen my review or anybody else's review of the new Civic, the new HR-V, or even the new Acura Integra, this interior is very similar. Honda isn't doing quite a copy and paste job in all of their new products with this design language of one big vent, very simple buttons, a nice prominent touchscreen, but it does seem that way. There's a few small changes here and there throughout all of those products I've just mentioned and here on the CR-V, like how we have this kind of hexagon ribbed textured piece along the dashboard and here in the door cards. But what matters more than anything is how well built this cabin is. It's not Audi materials in here, but it really does feel Audi quality. I am very, very impressed. These leather appointed seats I think are very comfortable. There's a good amount of padding here in the center console and in the armrest. The leather heated steering wheel is lovely, and all of the buttons, as you've probably heard me say before, just feel excellent. Everything you interact with feels good. There's clearly a lot of black and shades of black in here, but it doesn't feel like a dark and gloomy interior given how much glass we have and a little splash of color with the orange stitching in the cabin. It's interesting how some car companies can make spaces feel cold and unwelcoming from the swath of black plastics, but this just doesn't somehow. Good things carry on to the second row and the boot space as well. The CR-V still features those very wide opening 90-degree doors, and that's something that if you're using it, if you're going to be using this as a family vehicle with some babies or toddlers, you are very much going to appreciate loading the car seats in and out. The seats do fold down, and as they fold down, the base of them drops down. As you can see here, sitting behind myself is really no hassle at all. Tons of knee room and foot room. Headroom might be a touch tight, but that's really nothing to get upset about. And you see that the seats have multiple recline positions, so if I really want to lie back and relax, the CR-V is a good product for that. So the CR-V on the inside does feel like a class above in terms of interior dimensions. The hybrid does take away a little bit of interior storage, and that's mostly because the load floor in this product is fixed. It can't go down. There's nothing underneath. There's no spare wheel. In fact, you get a tire inflation kit hidden in one of the arches, but in the normal CR-V, that is a floor that can go down a little bit to add you a little bit of space. So even though the numbers that are on the screen right now appear different, that is showing their max capacity. As I've brought up the 1.5, let's actually bring up what I'm driving now, which is the hybrid. It has a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It has an electric motor, a battery pack, an eCVT that all scrambles together to make 204 peak horsepower and 247 peak pound-feet of torque. I do quite like the combination of this engine and this EV power plant. I'm surprised actually how often the EV mode engages, even at highway speed. I mean, I'm always trying to use the EV mode as often as I can, and to do that you've just got to be a little bit more gentle on the throttle, do a little more coasting, and you can put the hybrid into what is this B mode, which is the regenerative braking mode. You have 4 modes within that mode of how powerful you want your regen braking to be, and you change that by shifting on the paddles behind the steering wheel. I always keep it in its 4th mode, its max regen mode, because why not, quite frankly. What's most impressive though, I think, is the refinement and engineering of this powertrain. I'm in EV mode now, and if I just put a little bit more throttle to pick up speed, I know the engine engaged because I no longer have that EV light appear, and you can hear the motor, but you can't feel it at all. One of the big criticisms I had with the previous car is that the engine was noisy, a bit clunky. Even though there's still a bit of that noise remaining, and if I mash the throttle, yes, you can hear it, but it's not shaking about. It isn't rattly. It isn't in any way coarse. Doesn't feel like it's been powered by sand. It's really, honestly, very well done. Even if I place my hand down here on the center tunnel, in EV mode now, of course I wouldn't feel any vibration, but I put my foot in and I can't feel any vibration still. So well done, Honda, there. And also congratulations has to go to the eCVT. It does the similar tricks that we've seen in some of Honda's CVTs before. If you have a nice constant change in velocity, you got your foot on the throttle, you can see that the needle is changing gears around the 50% power mark. You don't have a tachometer in the hybrid, you have a power gauge. So the powertrain is very smooth. Yes, it's not blitzing quick, but more than powerful enough. The ride is very supple. So the interior, the drivetrain, the overall driving dynamics of this product, I think, are top of the class. Does this product do anything wrong? Well, for the hybrid right now in Canada, it is reserved only as the top trim model. So it's $5,000 more than the trim below it. But when you pay that additional price, you aren't just getting the hybrid powertrain. You're getting a few other creature comforts like a 12-speaker sound system, a hands-free tailgate, the orange stitching seen throughout the cabin, and Wi-Fi tethering. So if you desperately want any of those features, you have to have the hybrid, and at $5,500, I honestly think that's quite steep, but I have yet to try the normal CR-V with the 1.5 litre turbo engine. So at this point in time, can't really say if this is the better product. A few other quick things I'd like to note for you before I end this video is that when you're in B mode, you can't use cruise control for whatever reason. The system doesn't let you. So on occasions where I know I'm going to be stuck at speed for a portion of time, I'll knock back into drive, and as soon as I'm getting off of the highway, I'll knock back into B so I can get a little bit of energy recuperation. The exterior looks I quite like. It's simple, but it's bold. It's not dull in the way that I thought the HR-V had a dull exterior design. I like looking at this thing. From the rear three-quarter, I think it looks exactly like a current generation Volvo XC60, but I see no harm done. That's a handsome vehicle. This is a handsome vehicle. Another note on visibility, the CR-V has a little spray nozzle for the rear view camera that I've seen on a couple of Subarus recently. That's an awesome feature. So there you have it. I really like this new Honda CR-V hybrid. It's a wonderful tool for the job if you have a very young family and you need a compact crossover. It has everything really that you want with no, I think, serious downsides, except for maybe the additional price you have to pay to go for the hybrid. So thank you very much for taking the time to watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, all those wonderful things. Helps me out a lot. Hope to see you again on the channel soon. Thank you very much.